Alright, the first normal unit that ended up being stupid broken is INT Cheelai. Now, we could talk about her on her release, but I'm more so talking about her EZA. Now, the reason why I bring it up is just because, again, this unit is just dumb tanky. I get it that she can get destroyed in dodge canceling fights, right? It just exists for her. She can't dodge, she can't get her defense, right? But if she can get her defense, this unit is ridiculous. She massively raises defense on her super, so of course she does need to super in order to be tanky. But 100% with everything, her full passive up, she has 10 million defense. And don't forget the fact that she has 70% dodge and 80% dodge against super attacks. So this unit is already dodging, and the failsafe is 10 million defense. Like, this unit is ridiculous for a unit that's barely doing a million damage. Again, you don't really expect your normal units to be able to, like, basically tank supers from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta or Zamasu or even Rose before he starts building up, right? Like, these units, these bosses are all doing about 10 to 11 mil, and of course, you know, Cheelai can handle all of those supers, sometimes not gracefully, but she can handle those super attacks, which makes her such a valuable support unit in all these fights, is because if she can dodge, she's not only, you know, going crazy on the dodges, keeping herself alive, but her consistency of being able to tank normals helps her be such an amazing unit. And then of course she's giving a stupid amount of support. She's already giving all allies 39% attack and defense and a 20% chance of crit, along with 3 key, but then she's also a rainbow key spirit orb changer, and she also has a scouter. Oh, and also don't forget she heals at the end of the turn if she's already dodged 3 times in the turn. Oh, and also don't forget the fact that she can gain another 39% attack and defense once you've dodged 6 times in battle. Like, this unit is really, really good, and again, I know her defense relies on her dodging, so clearly it does factor that in with that 10 million defense, but I mean, if you get that dodge rolling like crazy, this unit is dumb broken. Alright, for this next unit, you guys are going to have to help me out here a bit, because I know this unit is really good. Like, that's definitely not the problem here. The problem is this line of passive. Per Universe 6 or Peppy Gal's ally on the team, attack and defense and chance of dodging plus 8%, right? Now, the reason why I bring that up is because does it stack? So, for example, if I threw a Kale on the team, is it 16% dodge, or is it just 8% dodge because she's on either category? Or is it double up because she's on both? Either way, it doesn't really change her on the list, it just makes her better if it counts on both, because it makes her dodge chance significantly higher, especially when you consider the fact that she would have, what, 96% dodge if the full team was Universe 6 and Peppy Gals. Like, the entire team was a unit that had both categories. Like, that'd make this unit even better, but regardless, that's not even her value. The value of this unit is the fact that she has 100% dodge against Universe Survival Saga enemies or Pure Saiyan enemies, which, again, on the time of her release, and just a lot of meta after her release, and even now, there's a ton of Pure Saiyans, there's a ton of Universe Survival Saga enemies, you know, there's a lot of value, of course, outside the Blue Zone, right, outside the Blue Zone fight, because the Blue Zone fight just is filled with Hybrid Saiyans, but, I mean, if the Pure Saiyans, for example, you know, the Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta fight is a great example of a fight you can even use her in relevant recent day meta. So, you know, you may not be able to use her all the time, but the fact that there's even a fight today you could use her in just because 100% dodge, they don't dodge cancel, just shows how valuable this unit has been throughout the history of this game, and the reason why she will continue to age so gracefully. She may not hit hard, she might not do much, but if there's a fight that doesn't dodge cancel and it includes Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyans, you're going to throw in her team because it's a free spot where you know you're not going to die. So, yeah, I mean, this unit is crazy strong, and again, it's just a normal unit that no one ever expects to be this good. Alright, the next unit is one of my personal favorites, and it's an AGL Golden Frieza. This unit was just really good on release and even on EZA, just due to the fact that he just had 90% damage reduction, right? And you gotta consider the fact that, yes, you do have to be above the HP threshold, but being above 40% HP is just not an issue in this game. Even in the meta we're in right now, you are at times going to be under 40% HP, but a lot of times than not, you're going to be fine. Now, the problem is you can't use this unit in a lot of content now because they banned nukers for the reason of, I guess they were just scared or just tired of seeing people in nuking setups just absolutely obliterating any boss they came out with. So they're like, you know what, screw it, here you go, you can all agree these guys suck it, right? Like, I mean, that's what I'm imagining happened, right? Like, that's all I can think of the reason why they would get rid of nukers. But even then, it's just stupid that they're limiting these units because of their leader skill alone. These are still units. These units have kits, and these kits are not that broken, I promise you. And GT bosses would love to have their baby Vegeta back. So, I mean, look, I get it. The leader skills do suck, but it's just like, I would like to be able to use these units in these hard fights, especially because, again, Golden Frieza still has 90% damage reduction, and if you pair him with the Broly trio of the LR Fizz, Broly, Cheelai, and Limo, and they have 24 ki, this guy's 100% damage reduction. This guy will be effective in metas for the rest of his life if they find a way to include these units without having their leader skills be active. Like, I just feel like there should be a way to get around that. I don't know how there isn't yet, but there should be a way to get around that, and I would love to see that because I would love to bring out this unit again. His damage is not impressive at all, but just being able to tank any attack in this game is just, well, pretty fun. Alright, we had to include INT Hercule on this list. Now, I will say, on this list, I'm not going to cover every single unit in this game. It's a normal unit that is very broken. I'm just highlighting the ones I enjoy personally the most, that I found the most usage out of, and again, that I used all the time. This is another card that I love to throw on my teams. Again, the dodge, and then plus the damage reduction, just allow this unit to be such an effective floater. A lot of times you're not worried about him dying. Maybe he's not, maybe he's not supporting your rotation, but he is allowing you to stay alive, and that's all that really matters in this game, is being able to live. And more times than not, your floater is just not strong enough to hold that at times. Nowadays, yes, we have floaters that are super strong, but that was not always the case. It's either a unit that supports with like no defense, or maybe no support effects, but you do have the ability to survive. Which, again, this Hercule's an example of this card. Now, granted, he was glitched, where he could just have over 100% damage reduction, making this guy immortal once he went down to his thresholds. But, again, now they changed it, but he's still really good. I mean, the less HP you have, the quicker, or the higher his damage reduction rate goes up, and he can go up to a maximum of 90%. And if he's at above 50% HP, then he has 60% dodge. So, I mean, he has a nice balance of dodge and damage reduction that allows him to be such a solid unit, and a very broken, just normal unit that you can get in any summon, no matter what. Alright, next we have TEQ Syn Shenron. He's kind of the origin to reason, well, him and INT Cheelai are the reason why this video is being made right now. This guy went from, yeah, he was good. He was a good side banner unit when he released, but this guy went from good to absolutely broken. The way they designed this unit is great for short meta and long meta. He's not the worst in the world, of course, but he does shine in the first turn of his entry. Along with that, he's doing about 40 mil plus per super if he's in the optimal Shadow Dragon scenario, but he does rely heavily on Omega Shenron to look as elite as he does. But again, I'm not going to say that it's because Omega exists that he is so broken. I'm just saying that Omega does aid in him being broken. This guy's kit is still very impressive, though. He has a high chance to crit, high chance to launch a super, he's an orb changer, and then he has 40% damage reduction through collecting orbs. He has 80% damage reduction turn 1 if he collects the orbs, and also has his entry turn buff up. So, I mean, he's pretty solid turn 1, 80% damage reduction, then it goes down to 40%. Of course, on Omega's team, it's 100% damage reduction turn 1, and then 60% damage reduction turn 2. So, yes, Omega does play a big part in this guy's kit, but at the same time, a lot of what he does is just because of simply his kit. But, I mean, granted, he really would have a home anyways without Omega, because he really does rely on those Shadow Dragon links and just having a relevant team, which is GT bosses. I mean, he's only on 3 categories: Inhuman Deeds, GT bosses, and Shadow Dragon Saga. So I would imagine the only reason you're going to use this guy anyways is because an Omega team exists. So him kind of relying on Omega is not the worst thing in the world. But again, he's just a regular unit who could have 100% damage reduction. That's just insane, and that's such a well-aging mechanic. Of course, it does rely on how well Omega ages, but the fact that he even has that in his kit, just like the day that physical Omega regains relevance is also, like, if he easy age, for example, is also the day TEQ Syn Shenron just comes back from the ashes, because he will still have 100% damage reduction. Like, he'll never super easy A, right? Like, this is the last time any buff will happen for the Syn Shenron. but the moment Fizz Omega Shenron comes back in the spotlight, this guy will immediately gain relevance again. Alright, next we're going to talk about TEQ God Goku. We had to bring him on this list as well because simply he was just an amazing unit for the Broly meta due to how strong his 77% damage reduction was against movie bosses or pure stance. You know, I mean, everything else on his kit wasn't anything impressive. 150% attacking defense, rainbow key, orb changing is nice, and then 7% attacking defense per key spear, and then 77% attacking defense when collecting 2 or more rainbow key spears. But of course, his main draw was his 77% damage reduction, and if he got a decent amount of orbs, he was able to have a pretty high level of defense. Now, again, it was only relevant for a while until his defense was not able to keep up, even with 77% damage reduction, but he was a very important unit in around the 2022-2023 meta, even a little bit of 2024. But again, that's also because we had the Meta Cooler meta, and then we had Broly meta, so there was a lot of bosses and movie bosses that allowed this guy to shine for quite a while. And again, he had to be on this list because of how well he aged due to just having 77% damage reduction on a normal unit's kit. And compared to Golden Frieza, who basically can't be used in any hard content, you could use this guy in a ton of hard content, and it wasn't HP restricted. It's just movie bosses at pure sands, which were plentiful during his day. So he had an amazing reign when he came out. It made the STR Super Saiyan God Vegeta look like an absolute joke. It's kind of insane how you compare these two, why the God Goku got a significantly better kit than he did, but yeah, this God Goku was a very valuable unit. The next ones I want to look at are some free-to-play units. I got 2 free-to-play units I want to look at. The first one is altogether the Goku Black clones. These guys are just very impressive because of how all of them play off of each other. You got 90% dodge, you got damage reduction in guard, you got debuffing, scouters, buffing. Like, these guys have such an amazing chemistry, and the great thing is too is there's a lot of bosses, for example, that can be debuffed. There's a lot of bosses that can be interfered with, played with, whatever, and you can just cheese them with these clones because these clones can do some insane work. Again, for example, the TEQ clone can lower the enemy's attack by 70% by just showing up if you're running a full clones team. The AGL one, of course, has 90% dodge if the whole clones team is there, and he gets an AGL key spear, and has some very decent stats himself as well. The physical one, of course, is the most notorious and the strongest one due to his guard and 50% damage reduction on a free-to-play unit, by the way. It's like Dokkan Fest level units are in the shell of a free-to-play unit, and we just got access to them, and very easily, by the way. I mean, these units are stronger than some Dokkan Festival units and LRs we saw this year. It's pretty impressive how much work and love went into these clones in comparison to some of the other units we have gotten this year, but that's the reason why I had to put them on this list, because, dude, these guys are quite incredible, and we cannot let them go unnoticed. They're just normal free-to-play units that ended up just dominating this game under the STR Rose's leader skill. And then the other free-to-play unit I want to look at is the LR STR Nuova Shenron. We've had a lot of strong free-to-play units in our day, of course. Bio Broly is an example of one, but again, it's a little different with this guy. First of all, you can obtain them just straight up as an LR just through completing the missions. This is the first time we're able to obtain an LR just from fighting an event. Yes, you can get battlefield currency and be able to get this, for sure. But this is the first time through an event an LR just drops like a reward, already awakened, ready to go. And this guy is, well, very niche, but very impressive. Under the physical Omega's domain and leader skill and all that stuff, he can be doing up to 54 to 60 mil damage. Like, that's insane for a free-to-play unit that hits that hard. Yes, we've seen some units like the World Tournament Tau hit some ridiculous numbers, but of course he does need a ton of orbs to do so. Not only that, though, this Nuova Shenron is notoriously amazing against Ki Blast Supers due to the fact that he just nullifies them. 100% to nullify Ki Blast Supers for the first 4 turns. It's such a broken mechanic. He's amazing for short content, but of course he cannot fight an AGL enemy of this guy. This guy will be shredded to pieces. And I do like that they did not EZA this guy on the spot. It does allow this Nuova Shenron to have life in the future. Same thing with Demon King Piccolo. I think it's a great thing that they do not give these guys EZAs too quickly. It just allows these guys to have more longevity in the future. you know, because again, it doesn't pressure them to make 2 kits and 1 kit worse than the other one just so they can EZA the unit on the spot. I do think a lot of these free-to-play units this year that we've gotten have some incredible kits, but definitely need to be reserved for EZAs in the future to allow them to have a second chance to shine in the future. Because with this Nova Shenron, you know, and Omega Shenron probably going to EZA around the same time again, it just allows GT bosses to immediately have life with all of these EZAs kind of lining up with themselves. The next unit I want to talk about is one that I actually do not hear often about, and is the STR Piccolo from the Cooler Movie Celebration. This guy wasn't a monster to have on your team. He just had guard right away. He gave superclass allies 30% defense. He had 200% attack and defense. When he received an attack, he got 50% attack and defense for 3 turns, also along with a medium chance to crit. He also got 15% damage reduction per Movie Heroes category ally attacking in the turn if his guard was up. And then he got some other things as well. But the reason why that's so important is the fact that he had 45% damage reduction and guard on a Movie Heroes team. And remember, Movie Heroes at this time was not a slouch at all. In fact, this is the time when Orange Piccolo came out, so you could run this guy in slot 2 next to Orange Piccolo in slot 1 and have such a disgusting Piccolo rotation. His damage, I wouldn't say was the most impressive thing in the world, but this guy was tanking like crazy. And again, at the time, his best linking partner was Orange Piccolo, which worked because Orange Piccolo was meant to go in slot 1, while also Orange Piccolo was getting an additional 30% defense from the STR Piccolo as well. These guys were a match made in heaven and were one of my favorite rotations to run on Movie Heroes. I never felt like I was going to die. And the great thing was, you know, your first rotation could be the TEQ God and TEQ God Goku, and then second rotation is Orange Piccolo and the STR Piccolo, and you literally could not die. It was the unkillable rotation if you were going against movie bosses or Pure Saiyan's boss, which just allowed the team to be so much fun. Finally, I want to talk about INT Chi-Chi. I understand that this unit didn't get a lot of love when she came out, and she's definitely not going to get much more love now, due to the fact that, well, quite frankly, she's not that good anymore. But on release with AGL Kid Goku, these two were a monstrous rotation. In slot 2, she got a ton of stats, and she supported Kid Goku like crazy with 60% attack and defense. She also had 200% attack and defense herself. And then she got another 100% attack and a medium chance of 150% chance attack when attacking with 12 ki or more. And then she built up her attack and defense and crit for every super attack she performed. When there was another youth ally on the team, she got 200% attack. And then she got guard and 159% when receiving an attack when Goku was attacking in the same turn. It's a pretty impressive defensive ability. Guard and a multiplicative 159% defense. And when you're already built up with another multiplicative 100% defense, she was able to tank like crazy. She was never really a concern. And then if you had a youth category ally on the team, Kid Goku for example, she would also have 50% dodge. So she had a ton of defense mechanics to allow her to, even if she didn't dodge, she had guard and high level defense, and she has this, and she could do this, and you know, it just allowed her whole kit to allow her to flow really well. She only did raise attack and defense for 1 turn with her super attack, but again, I did think she was an amazing partner for the Kid Goku. I think a lot of people underestimated how good this unit actually is, but I also understand that now for sure she's just not that strong, just because, quite frankly, the power creep has gotten ridiculous that it aged out everything before, and like there's just a very small handful of units that came out even before or after Anniversary and full Global Dokkan campaign that are even relevant right now due to how strong bosses have gotten. And with that being said, I want to hear what you guys think about this video, but not just about this video. I want to hear your thoughts about the power creep in this game. Do you guys think it's been going too far? Like, I feel like there's an extent of like, yes, these events are not terrible, but they're only not terrible because we just summoned for 4 Global Dokkan campaign units who absolutely have, or sorry, 5 of them, who have tons of very strong abilities to handle these crazy bosses. But for example, Kid Goku struggles in these new fights. You know, Pycon, Hit, Cell. A lot of these guys struggle in these new fights. Half Anniversary units are just fodder. You know, a lot of the releases this year are not able to keep up with how strong these bosses are. Whether you want to call them gimmick fights or not, that's up to you. But the fact that a majority of 2025's releases are irrelevant halfway through the year just kind of shows you how scary power creep has gone. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys enjoy the voice content, the first link in the description to all of my Dokkan Battle content that is voiced. And then my second link is to all of my Dokkan Battle content videos in general. So if you guys enjoy one or the other or both, feel free to check out both by clicking the links in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.